Smolka, wins as the minus 125 favorite. Um, he's nice, man. He's not like electric. You know what I'm saying? He fights at that kind of calmer pace. He's good. He has good technique. But just I feel like not one thing jumped off the screen to me about Smolka. I don't know if
I
you
want to
have
I
any
want to say
takeaways.
he's like 28, 27 now, but he had first fought in the UFC when he was 22, and he looked way like I remember him in his first stint in the UFC.
Okay.
He looked like he wasn't ready for it. Like he was too
Yeah.
young, moments were too big for him, and now he seems to be able to handle those moments incredibly well. But better than most of the other guys, I would say.
Yeah, man. Just I think sports in general, man, going pro too young can be like a blessing and a curse, man. Like we see it in basketball all the time.
All the time. All
At
the
these
time.
6'8" freak of natures that but they come to the league not knowing how to run off a screen and shoot a jump shot. I know basic fun. They have not a single post counter move.
Or like defense, like post defense, they don't have post defense. It's not a thing.
Yeah, it's like dog. Anybody can look good in an open gym when you're 6'8" and nobody's guarding you. But I feel like that happens in the UFC too, which we're saying why we wanted the slow build for Topuria because these kids come in 23, 21, 22. And it's just like you said, yeah, they're in their second stint by the time they're 27, and it's just
Right.
I hate seeing that because if imagine where Smolka's career could have been, if he just would have waited maybe a little longer. But I
Yeah.
mean, he's getting another shot. He made the most of it. He looked like I said, he looked good, not great to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
didn't be like, oh, watch out for this guy. Like I didn't get those vibes, but I also like he's a guy that you better mind your P's and Q's or he'll beat you.
Well, I mean, out of 8 fights, we had 5 finishes. And is that right? 5 finishes? Yeah, 5 finishes. And I mean, he didn't get a bonus, but I would say he was the least deserving of a bonus out of the 5 guys that got finishes. Now, granted, there were only 3 bonuses that got given out, and only 2 of those went to guys with finishes. But
all well
Dana,
deserving though. Like fuck
well,
anybody's argument against bonuses last night. Dana
well,
got the bonuses right, in my opinion.
I think so too. And he also said that he was going to give Jamal Hill as well as Ilio Topuria additional bonuses that were not the 50K, just because he appreciated how good their performances were.
Yeah, which is real. When we've talked about this on the podcast before, the old Dana duffel bag.
Yeah, that Dana bag, that's what you're fighting for. You're fighting for the Dana bag.
Yeah,
which is
man.
cool, though, because that is an incentive for you to, like, fight as hard as you possibly can, because even if you lose, you might somehow get award, like Fight of the Night, for instance, for Hermanson. Like, he's going to get 50K even though he lost.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it incentivizes a harder performance. And then on the flip side of that, if you're the winner and you win by a violent finish, you're way higher up in the qualification to maybe get that 50K. And if you don't get that, you might get 25 or 30.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know, man. I honestly still feel like that's a really small number. Like
it's also
for
the
professional
shadiest shit on
sports.
earth for professional sports to like have actual like qualified bonuses that the company puts on your like checks, and then for the boss owner of the company to just send you a personal check because he appreciates you. That's pretty shady as far as business would be concerned.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, like what would I don't know, bro. Like $50,000 to an NBA player is just like, what am I gonna do with that? That's
like
a meal.
It's like
that's
it's
a trip
less
to the
than,
strip club. Like
it's less than a quarter of basketball for most of the players in the NBA. Like
Yeah.
based on what they make per game, like I would say most NBA players probably make over 250,000 a game, right?
Yeah,
Based on like salary.
a lot of them, yeah. So it's just it's as great as it is, and it just depends where you're at in your career, right? Like if it's your first couple of fights, I mean that 50 grand could be life changing, right? And then but I mean if you're making like real ass money, like some of them are the high end guys, 50 grand. I mean it's a weird number to where for some people it's everything, and for other people it's like literally like a toy. But
these guys too, Christmas holidays coming up, that's probably big for some guys that have families, stuff like that. They might be able to go on vacations. So I do love that idea, at least.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I wish it was a little more. I wish it was 75 or 100. Like
I wish it was 100. I wish there were 100K bonuses.
Yeah, definitely. But and then the 50K could be the little, throw you a bone. Like that's more. Yeah, but
which shout out Dan Ige, Dan 50K Ige.
Yeah,
so
Dan
it's still
50K.
a sick nickname.
Definitely a sick nickname. Which, speaking of nicknames, not a fan of a black man calling himself the Monkey King.
Monkey King, and
I'm
then
gonna
dancing
just
around
go
like a
ahead and
monkey
I'm
in
gonna
the
say it.
octagon and shit.
I'm gonna use my position here as the house black man to just to call that out. Like on one hand, it's not like it's like white people calling him that. Like it's like he called himself. I don't know. Do you, dog? Hell no, ain't no way in hell that's the route I'm taking. Or like if I had a son, I wouldn't want
Hell
him
no, I would
like
not.
like
Especially as like for like his parents think about their age, think about the world they grew up and lived in.
yeah
That's so disrespectful for him to call himself the Monkey King.
yeah man.
Unless he means it from a pure animal standpoint, as
No,
though like
and
he
I think
loves
he does.
primates. I think he does.
He strikes me as a guy that just kind of like wouldn't even like look at it that way. But like
He's a
I'm
weird
sorry,
dude.
yeah, he's a weird guy for sure. And it's just like, man, as a black man though, you just got to be like
That feels
conscious of
demeaning.
that shit. Yeah, I
Like
don't know, man.
that feels culturally demeaning. You know what I mean?
And you know, there's just some racist asshole at home like, oh, haha, that's what I would have fucking called him too. Like, you know, you just like why provide the pleasure? I don't know, but
Like what if Vittori called himself the Wop King? You know, like
well,
that's not good. And now
nowadays
it has a
people just
different
think he's
meaning.
talking about Cardi B, but
Right. But like
I
you
think
know what I
Darren
mean.
Till's the WAP king now. But no, I totally understand what you're saying. Like that's like a Mexican fighter calling himself Spick and Span or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Or Conor McGregor was like like the Mick King Connor. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Like
keep
that's
going
not.
down the list, bro. Let's get canceled real quick. But